Creepy TikToks that will make you rethink everything. Let's get right into it.
The government can control the weather. Watch this.
This patent claims to control weather patterns by releasing specific substances into the atmosphere.
This is a real patent.
This ties directly into the age-old chemtrail conspiracy, but this isn't a theory anymore, it's written in black and white. The patent explicitly mentions to controlling hurricanes, creating rain, and even dissipating clouds.
Yep.
Here's where things get crazy. Companies like the military contractor Raytheon have been tied to similar patents. Is this just innocent weather science, or are we messing with forces we don't fully understand?
Let me know what
And
y'all
if the
think.
government or private entities control the
Stay
weather,
weird.
what's stop creating natural disasters on demand?
You can check out the full-length video on my YouTube channel. It's Weird Time. Thanks for watching.
Let's check this out.
From weather controlling machines to cloaking devices and even mind control technology, these strange inventions are not just theoretical, they're officially filed and documented. And the wildest part, most of us have no idea they exist. Today we're diving into the 5 of the strangest patents ever filed. Buckle up, because this rabbit hole goes deep. Patent US 1338343A. Sounds harmless, right? Just another random number in a government database. But when you look it up, it's anything but ordinary. This patent describes a machine capable of generating artificial fog. That's right, controlling the atmosphere, one cloud at a time. This patent was filed way back in 1920. It was originally intended for military use, allowing troops to obscure visibility during combat. But let's fast forward a century. Think about all the conspiracy theories surrounding weather manipulation. What if this tech isn't just for military purposes anymore? Could this explain some of the strange fogs people report, like the thick mist that seemed to roll out of nowhere? What's even creepier is how vague the patent is about its limitations. If we had this tech 100 years ago, how advanced could it be now? Maybe that fog outside your window isn't so natural after all. Next up, we have a patent that feels straight out of Harry Potter. Filed in 1994, this invisibility cloak patent details a method and system for generating an invisible shield. Essentially, it's a cloaking device that uses light refraction to make objects disappear from sight. Sounds cool, right? But here's the thing, this isn't just theoretical. The patent goes into detail about how light can be bent around an object, effectively making it invisible to the human eye. The implications here are massive. Military applications? Obvious. Surveillance? Definitely. But here's a scarier question. What if someone's already perfected this tech? How would we know? It's not like someone's going to knock on your door and say, hey, check out my invisibility cloak. The potential for misuse is off the charts. It makes you wonder what's lurking around us that we can't see. Alright, let's address the elephant in the room. Weather manipulation. Yes, you heard that right. Filed in 2006, this patent claims to control weather patterns by releasing specific substances into the atmosphere. Sound familiar? This ties directly into the age-old chemtrail conspiracy, but this isn't a theory anymore, it's written in black and white. The patent explicitly mentions to controlling hurricanes, creating rain, and even dissipating clouds. Here's where things get crazy. Companies like the military contractor Raytheon have been tied to similar patents. Is this just innocent weather science, or are we messing with forces we don't fully understand? And if the government or private entities control the weather, what's stopping them from creating natural disasters on demand? This next one is straight out of a dystopian nightmare. This patent describes a device that manipulates the nervous system through electromagnetic fields. In simple terms, mind control. Filed in 2003, the patent suggests using frequencies to influence emotions, thoughts, and even actions. Now, before you grab your tinfoil hat, let's put this into perspective. Ever wonder why certain ads, music, or even social media content seems weirdly attractive? This kind of tech could theoretically be used to influence large groups of people without them even realizing it. And while this particular patent might sound far-fetched, it's worth noting that brainwave research is a very real and rapidly advancing field. So is this the key to unlocking human potential, or are we one step closer to being puppets on a string? Our final patent takes us into some seriously disturbing territory. This patent discusses creating chimeric organisms, essentially hybrids of humans and animals. While this might sound like the plot of a bad sci-fi movie, it's very real. The patent details the process of combining human and animal DNA to create organisms with specific traits. Now in the scientific world, this is framed as groundbreaking research for medical purposes, like growing human organs in animals for transplants. But let's be real, when has technology ever stayed in its lane? This raises so many ethical questions. At what point does science cross the line? And more importantly, are we already experimenting with things we're not ready to handle? So there you have it. 5 strange patents that blur the line between science and science fiction. But here's the big question. Are these just the tip of the iceberg? For every patent we know about, how many more are hidden behind closed doors? As always, thanks for watching.
You ever wonder why there's a ship at the end of everything? Friendship, relationship, sportsmanship. It's a hidden meaning behind almost every word. You just gotta look.
Your body is like
Have you ever wondered why there's a ship at the end of everything?
I'm gonna read speaks on how your true friends will act.
A friend is one who will not even consider giving his life for you. That's a friend. Everybody you name are with me for money and for what they can get. I don't have no friends. I wrote a poem that says, friendship is a priceless gift that cannot be bought nor sold, but its value is far greater than a mountain made of gold. For gold is cold and lifeless. It can neither see nor hear, and in time of trouble it is powerless to cheer. Gold, it has no ears to listen, no heart to understand. It cannot not bring you comfort or reach out a helping hand. So when you ask God for a gift, be thankful if he sends, not diamonds, pearls, or riches, but the love of real, true friends. See, friends are very rare. A friend is one who will not...
In Egypt, and it had been molecularly burned into the wall. And it's 6,000 years old. This same symbol has been found in the forbidden temples in China, sitting under the fufu dogs. And the foot on it, the flower of life, saying whoever controlled that flower of life controlled the universe. There were secrets in that flower of life that Da Vinci spent his whole life trying to uncover. There were secrets in that flower of life that Newton spent his whole life in secret trying to uncover. The same secrets that Pythagoras was desperately trying to uncover. But the problem was, they kept seeing this in a two-dimensional space. They couldn't get it out of this two-dimensional frame, and as a result, they got stuck in this plane, a flat plane. Now, what Da Vinci and all of them wanted to do, they were trying to find a way to bring this flower to life, because what is inside of it? Well, apparently, there were secrets inside of it. Shapes, they got the Merkaba and all of those other things out of it. But they were misled by something I think called a straight line. You guys believe in straight lines? You believe there's straight lines in the universe? Well, let me hit you with something. All energy in the universe is expressed in what? It's in motion. If something is still, there's no energy. Kinetic, right? All motion is expressed in what? You look at galaxies, are they expressed in straight lines? Expressed in vortices. All vortices are expressed in what? Waves. All waves are curved. Show me a straight line in nature. You show me where the platonic solids come from. Where do they have their foundations in our universe? Are there any straight lines? If you look at anything, there are no straight lines. That's been the mistake. We've been looking at these straight lines, this Euclidean way of thinking, and missing the curvature of nature. So here we are, back with the curvature of nature. And you have all in Egypt, and it had...
Washington, slave owner and rapist. Thanksgiving celebrates native genocide. Thomas Jefferson owns over 600 slaves. Christmas, pagan holiday. Jesus wasn't his name and he wasn't white. Washington, slave owner and rapist.
If you have more information on architects that we should work with to build a city, because in Liberia, I envision building a city of the future, an infinite city that can constantly grow. And I envision flying cars. I envision mastering our own minds and telepathic abilities. I envision a spiritual telephone where we can pick up the phone and talk to our ancestors, eventually starting with a Morse code to a language, to hearing their voice, to eventually seeing them. Yeah. If you have more information,
Yo, so crazy.
They print money every day, Tim. Yeah, and they don't print not one bill that says Dwayne Carter can't have it. So until they start doing that, I'm going to try to get every single one they print.
I mean, I respect your game. I mean, what's like the worth at the moment, like the money in the bank? Pretty strong.
I never focus on that.
Okay.
I never focus on that because if you're dead, then you'll get satisfied. Or you'll get unsatisfied. And you never want to be none of those things when it comes to money. They print money
That's
every day.
real. Shout out to Lil Wayne. You work for it, they print it out, then out of thin air. Yo. That's crazy. That's crazy. And they just print it. That is insane. We working for this type of stuff, y'all. That's crazy, yeah.
I'm going to tell you why. This. I'm in a cereal aisle, and we don't eat cereal as a family. I'm going to tell you why. This. Lucky Charms. Ooh, this looks so fun. Trisodium phosphate. It's also in Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You want to know what that is? Let me show you. Would you look at that? I'm headed into Home Depot. Find trisodium phosphate. Trisodium phosphate in the paint cleanup aisle. Trisodium phosphate is a heavy-duty cleaner. It cleans surfaces in preparation for painting. Yet it also says danger, harmful if swallowed, keep out of reach of children. That's my favorite part. Keep out of reach of children. Yeah, it's like the 5th ingredient in most common cereals. Come on, you guys, we can do better.
There's a specific person that you've got to get out of your life right now. It's the person that wants to remind you of who you were. It's the person who wants to remind you of how you used to be, what you used to do, how you used to do it. That used to person's dead. Anybody who wants to resurrect that person cannot be in your life. There is nothing more important than getting people out of your life. They want to pretend you're the person you were yesterday. They want to act like you're the person you were yesterday. You're evolving, you're growing, you're advancing. You need to be focused on you right now, and anybody that wants to bring you back, anybody that wants to pretend you are the same person that they knew 1, 2, 6, 7 years ago, get them the hell out of your life.
If no one calls you dangerous, it means you've never stood your ground. If no one fears you, it means you've never dared to disrupt the order. And if no one speaks ill of you, well, it means you've never stood tall enough to cast a shadow. The truth is, people reveal their insecurities in how they treat you. If they envy you, it's because you possess something they can't. If they mock you, it's because they don't understand the strength of your mind. And if they try to bring you down, it's because they've already realized you're above them. Criticism, slander, even imitation, these aren't insults. They're acknowledgments, proof that you matter, that you stand out, that you're living a life others can't ignore. So let them talk. Let them doubt. Let them fear. Their resistance only confirms your strength. After all, no one tries to stop a ghost. They only chase the ones who are truly alive. If you are not following, you will never hear my voice again. But if you are, then congratulations.
So if you haven't heard, America's on a red flag warning for a genocide in other countries. Other countries are literally protesting for us right now. And we're not seeing any of this. Like, the censorship is crazy. There's people in Germany talking about this is how the Holocaust started. I mean, the way our government is not saying anything about this, but I mean, why would they? You guys need to be concerned. Fuck getting scared. Get pissed off. This shit is real. So if you haven't heard, America's on a red.
But once you're out of your body, you're out of time, space. And some people can take a long time to go to the light. It felt like it took forever for me to get to the light. Some people go immediately. But what's interesting is when I was looking at my body, this light was leaving my body. And many, many years later, I'm studying the field of biophotonics. And you've heard many people say that they see a light leave when the person dies. Well, that's proven now scientifically. When your cells start dying, they give up their biophotons. And you are emitting light until every single cell in your body has completely deteriorated. So you are giving off a light. You are giving off quanta material that goes into the subtle energy realm, which we call the other side. From almost right after my experience, I'd say within a couple of months after my experience, the light would just come and get me and take me out of my body. And every time that happened, I thought I was dying again. And so it took about a year or so where I got comfortable with these experiences and just would let it happen. Phyllis Atwater and Ken Ring were the first to tell me that, Melon, nobody else does this. I said, well, I go back to the light every day. At one point, I was told that I would, from now on, have contact with universal intelligence. Basically, what I learned was that creation has just begun, that we've just begun our journey, and the future is so bright for humanity. And I know people can't see that now because it's been a long, hard path coming up the evolutionary chain and coming up through evolution and civilization, building civilization as we've known it. But I was shown that human beings are one of the most graceful things ever on this planet, believe it or not. And to this day, I mean, check the World Health Organization. To this day, the biggest killer of mankind, more than all of mankind's wars all put together, is still the mosquito. In the human world, we have just begun concepts of charity, the concept of retirement. It's an amazing concept. I tell you, that's a very simple metaphor for something a little more complex that's going on in all the universe. I mean, stars feed and destroy each other. There's a certain give and take in the universe. I tell you, at one point when I was with the light, I asked the light, I said, why are humans so dark and doomed? I was shown, given a glimpse into every human soul. I was given a glimpse. There was no blackness at all. There was no evil whatsoever. And at that moment, I fell in love with humanity. There's always much more good going on than evil. It's just that our media, we're still coming out of survival. We haven't transcended survival yet, so we're constantly on the lookout for what we call evil. Just not too long ago, I was in an elevator, and a woman got on with this T-shirt that said, "The meek are getting ready." You can't put an actual time on this. That would be impossible to do. But I can tell you, it's so close now, it's in the blinking of a cosmic eye. And I got to see what's called the mass potential of humanity. And the mass potential of humanity is looking into the heart of humans. And there's goodness in every human heart there ever has been. Once you go to the light, you are completely purified of any disease, any darkness, any what you might call evilness. You are completely purified and begin your reincarnation. There are 3 levels of reincarnation, as I was taught. One is the automatic survival of the species reincarnation. You could call it bloodline reincarnation. And it's more powerful than your mind. I know there's a lot of people that teach that the mind created everything, but I was shown on the other side that the mind is one of the last things that showed up. Your body is millions of years much older than your mind. And our mind is in such a young state at this time that it's like a child. You know, there's a certain time when children are so young, they think they're the center of the universe and they have no cares about anyone else.
Right.
We're still a little bit in that stage, sort of like, remember when Galileo tried to show the church that the earth was not the center of the universe? And you look at most human religions, and I'm not putting down any of them, but most human religions on the planet have not had the Galileo effect yet. We're not actually the center of God's eye. We're a part of a whole beautiful system called the Gaia. And we're about to mature as a species, which is very important to the survival of the species and the planet. And this is something I never knew about before I went to the other side, but I was shown this in like these great, I guess you call them movies, but I was shown that what we call the Gaia concept is that the whole Earth, and I guess the astronauts were some of the first to see this, although the ancients talked about it, is that the whole Earth is actually one living being. It's a fantastic life form, and we're all a part of this. The human part of it is absolutely an incredible, special part. Just every human alive today has worked their way up from primordial into being the top of the DNA chain. We have the top DNA on the planet. I know that may rub some people wrong, but we do. Our DNA is really the book of life on the planet. Every human being alive today has been everything this planet has been so far. But on this particular planet, with the type of star that we have and the gravity and all of that, we are the sum total of everything that's happened on this planet and a great creation. We're just learning now not to separate ourselves from nature or the planet. The ancients tried to tell us this, and I think we're just beginning to understand it now. But once you're out of your body, you're
like death after death. It's like another spiritual awakening.
Why is it the ancients always wore silver? This is gonna blow your mind. Your brain and your body is a bioelectric system. Your body is basically a technological machine which serves as an interface that allows consciousness to interact with the 3D world. Your body's flow of ions and electrons helps to ensure that your body's bioelectric machinery operates harmoniously and supports vital functions, which is why the ancients wore silver and precious metals, because they enhance the flow of ions and electrons, which can enhance the flow of electricity within your body, making your brain to process information quicker. You are an electromagnetic machine. The human body is a battery. This is why we have to charge ourselves constantly with energy. Silver is said to be one of the best energy conductors. Silver has the ability to minimize electrical resistance, which improves cellular communication and energy flow. This is the original reason why humans used to wear jewelry, not to enhance our looks, but to enhance the functions of our electrical bodies. If you have neck, wrist, or ankle pain, you would wear a specific metal around this area.
So in downtown LA, they have a literal alien church where they praying to ET. Since we in the intergalactical stardust, did they make up a religion? So instead of going to pray to God, they're going to pray to these aliens. And the inside is not no better. Like, gang, they got a gangster ET on the outside of the church. You know, everything looks pretty normal. Instead, they're praying to an alien. This got to be blasphemy to the maximum capacity. Like, putting an alien on a cross, diabolical. And I guess they attend on Sundays and Mondays, trying to replicate how actual church is, but instead praying to aliens. I know I can't be the only one that think that's kind of strange, but
now that is strange. At this point, religion is just man-made, completely man-made. This is beautiful. Look at the sky, man. That looks amazing. This looks amazing. Wow. 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 That's all I can say. Wow. That look dope. Alright, y'all. That's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Catch me in the next video. Just be sure to leave a comment so this can reach out to the algorithm. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.